Libra, my dear soul, November 14th is your lucky day. This isn't a metaphor. It's a cosmic checkpoint, a sacred moment when the stars shift, the air stirs, and the universe opens a gateway made just for you. If you've been waiting for a sign, this is it. You didn't click on this video by accident. You were led here by a feeling, a dream, a whisper you couldn't quite explain. And now you're here, standing at the threshold of something truly extraordinary. On November 14th, the energy surrounding your sign becomes clear, powerful, and deeply transformative. Welcome to Zodiac Whisper Tarot. I want you to know, right from the beginning, that this is not just a reading, it's a divine transmission. Today, I will guide you through a message so aligned with your soul path that by the end of this video, something inside you will feel shifted. Lighter. Braver. Ready. You see, there are ordinary days. And then there are days when the fabric of the universe bends in your favor. November 14th is one of those days. Astrologically, Libra is being touched by a sacred trine between the Moon, Venus, and Mercury. This isn't casual, it's cosmic architecture. It activates your intuition, awakens emotional clarity, and gently unlocks doors that once felt shut. If your heart has been asking for a sign for healing, for opportunity, for love, or simply a reason to believe again, the answer is already arriving. But you must be awake to receive it. You must be present for the magic. That's why you're here. That's why I invite you to stay with me until the very last second of this video. Because what the universe is preparing to reveal is breathtaking. Take a deep breath and feel this moment. Something in your energy field is shifting. The truth is, Libra, you've been preparing for this alignment for a long time. You've been growing, evolving, shedding old stories, even when no one noticed. And now, the light is coming back to you. If you've been noticing angel numbers, maybe 222, 1111, or even 555, don't ignore them. They are confirmations. Divine winks. Evidence that you're not alone and that something is indeed unfolding just beneath the surface. And now, I want to ask you directly, what do you feel right now, deep in your spirit? Why do you think this message reached you today? Comment below with the first number or word that came into your mind, because those impressions are not random. They're the beginning of a sacred conversation between you and the divine. Let me also take a heartfelt moment to say thank you. Your presence here means more than you know. Every like, every comment you share, every new subscription is not just support, it is a spiritual handshake. It draws you deeper into the heart of our Zodiac Whisper Tarot community. And your energy, your voice, your light helps us continue to deliver these life-shifting messages to the souls who need them most. So stay with me, Libra. There's something you're about to hear, something the universe has been trying to show you. It's quiet, yes. But it's powerful. And it has your name written all over it. Let's begin. There are moments in time that do not arrive with thunder, yet they carry a power that reshapes everything. November 14th is one of those moments for you, Libra. Not because it's dramatic, but because it is divinely aligned. When the Moon, Venus, and Mercury form a rare trine in your sign, they create a precise energetic geometry that doesn't just touch your birth chart, it unlocks it. This sacred triangle acts as a cosmic tuning fork, and if you've been feeling off-key, this alignment helps you come back into resonance with your highest path. It's not just astrology, it's timing. And the universe speaks most clearly in moments like these, when energies combine in such harmony that it feels like your life is humming with quiet purpose again. This isn't about fate deciding for you. It's about the invitation to choose again, but from a place of greater inner clarity. Venus, your planetary ruler, softens your emotional field and opens your heart to beauty and balance. The moon illuminates what's been hidden, particularly within your emotional body, giving you the courage to feel fully and honestly. And Mercury, the messenger, clears mental fog so you can finally hear yourself think, hear yourself trust, and hear the voice of your deeper knowing. Together, these three create a moment of aligned awareness when mind, heart, and intuition are speaking the same language. If you've been hesitating about a relationship, a job offer, a location, or even a dream you shelved years ago, this is the kind of transit that gives you the inner yes you've been waiting for. Not loud. Not pressured. Just steady, sacred, and sure. Think of this like standing at a softly lit doorway. On the other side is not some sudden miracle, but a version of your life that's more honest, more aligned, more at peace with who you truly are. The choice to step through it is yours. The stars won't push you. They only open the way. In the pace of daily life, it's easy to miss subtle invitations like this one. We become so conditioned to look for loud signs, immediate rewards, or big dramatic turns. But often, the most meaningful shifts begin gently. You'll notice it when your body feels more relaxed than usual, when you speak from a place of unexpected truth, when a conversation finally feels complete or begins. This is the energy of divine timing. And while this may not be labeled as a miracle, its impact can be no less profound. Sometimes, God doesn't show up in lightning. Sometimes, grace looks like a quiet door that opens when your heart finally whispers yes. Many people talk about surrender as if it means giving up. But the deeper truth is that surrender is about finally letting go of what's never worked and making space for what's always been yours. And when that happens, when you clear room in your life for what truly aligns with you, things begin to flow again. A person reaches out. An idea lands. A chance you thought had passed circles back around. And you realize that what you once called delay was actually preparation. So if today feels ordinary, pay closer attention. Sometimes the divine arrives wearing the clothes of the everyday. November 14th may look like any other day, but energetically, it's a spiritual appointment. You don't need to do anything dramatic to receive what's meant for you. Just be present. Be honest. Be open. Take one step in the direction of your quiet yes. And if you're unsure where to start, begin with gratitude. Gratitude invites grace. Grace opens the door. And your willingness to walk through it that's the beginning of everything. Let this be your reminder, the light is not coming to find you because you're lost. It's coming to you because you're ready. Sometimes, the messages that come through a tarot spread don't just offer guidance, they hold up a mirror to the exact crossroads you've been quietly standing at. And today, Libra, that mirror is crystal clear. The cards laid before us: the Star, Two of Wands, Ace of Pentacles, and Judgment, speaking in riddles. They're speaking in echoes of your own desires, your past promises to yourself, and the very future you've begun envisioning when no one else was watching. These aren't just archetypes. They are energies you're already embodying without fully realizing it. And this moment is here to help you see it. The star appears when healing is underway, not when it's finished, not when it's easy, but when you've finally said yes to being guided by something brighter than fear. It is the soft light that arrives after the storm, not to erase the pain, but to affirm that you've survived and are being reconnected with your original clarity. You might find yourself dreaming more vividly right now, or noticing beauty in places you've overlooked for months. These are signs. They're showing you that your inner world is becoming safer, softer, and more receptive to new life. Then comes the Two of Wands, a card that shows you standing on the edge of a decision. But this isn't just about choosing between paths. It's about finally recognizing that you are the architect of your life. You're not waiting for permission anymore. You're no longer holding yourself back out of fear of the unknown. This card arrives when you're ready to acknowledge your power to expand, and when the universe is quietly handing you the tools to build something real. You may receive an offer, an invitation, or a coincidence that feels too perfect to ignore. Don't dismiss it. This card whispers, your next chapter is waiting for you to choose it. With the Ace of Pentacles in play, you're being gifted something tangible. This might show up as money, yes, but it could also come in the form of a new job, a solid connection, or even an idea that plants itself in your mind and refuses to leave. It's not just opportunity. It's potential, raw, grounded, sacred potential. It's like a seed pressed gently into your palm. But a seed is only powerful if you believe it's worth planting. If you feel like something new is knocking on the door of your material world, don't ask whether you're ready. Ask what's possible if you say yes. And finally, Judgment, perhaps the most sacred card in this spread. It signals a soul awakening. A rising. A moment when you hear a voice from deep within calling you not to do more, but to become more of who you already are. This isn't about fixing. This is about remembering. You've been carrying a purpose that the world may not have seen, but your spirit has always known. And now, it's time to rise into it. Not in fear. Not in ego. But in truth. In the flow of everyday life, we rarely pause to ask ourselves the deeper questions. But I encourage you now, what is stirring within you that refuses to stay silent? What dream, what version of you, what next step is calling your name right now? You might receive that message through an unexpected phone call, a line in a book, or a moment of quiet when the noise falls away. Trust those subtle nudges. They're not distractions. They're direction. And if you feel this message speaking to something you've been holding deep within, I invite you to write in the comments, I've heard the call. Because sometimes, the first act of answering your calling is admitting that you heard it. What's unfolding now in your life, Libra, may not always announce itself with drama or noise. In fact, the most transformative changes often arrive like a whisper, disguised as a familiar feeling, an old idea returning, or a subtle shift in how you breathe when you wake up. This next wave of movement in your life isn't chaotic, it's sacred. And it begins to show itself when you stop chasing answers and start allowing clarity. Right now, the universe is orchestrating a quiet but precise realignment, bringing back opportunities, people, and truths that are meant to complete something you once began but maybe weren't ready to finish until now. Some of you may notice a passion from the past resurfacing, something you once loved to do, a forgotten creative calling, or a career path you once set aside to survive in more practical ways. But here's the thing. Timing is everything. And now that your energy is more aligned, those old dreams aren't just nostalgia, they're invitations. Invitations to reclaim what was never truly lost, only dormant. You might find yourself being asked to lead again, to apply for something unexpected, or to speak about something you once stayed quiet about. If that opportunity returns to your life, ask yourself, are you finally ready to say yes? And then, sometimes what returns isn't an opportunity, it's a person. Someone who left a mark on your soul, and now appears again not to reopen the past, but to help close a spiritual circle. You may not even need a conversation. Just the recognition that something now feels complete, lighter, easier to forgive. When someone important re-enters your space, don't rush to define it. Just notice what feels resolved within you. Because this kind of return isn't always about reconciliation, sometimes it's about restoration. In the background of all of this is your body, quietly catching up to your spirit. You may notice deeper sleep, a calmer nervous system, or a sudden desire to treat your body with more care. These aren't random. Your physical state is often the last to show what's shifting energetically. And now that your emotional center is being gently reset, your body is no longer fighting what your soul has already chosen to heal. So when you wake up feeling just a little more at ease, don't question it. Receive it. That peace is evidence that your inner world is becoming safer, more trusting, more aligned. Financially, you may receive something that seems to come out of nowhere: a refund, a payment you forgot about, a job offer, or a person returning a debt. This is not about luck. It's the natural return of energy you've long invested. The moment you let go of lack, truly let go, you create space for abundance to reach you. Even if it's small at first, acknowledge it with gratitude. Abundance responds best to recognition. And sometimes, what you receive is not just money, it's proof that what's yours can never be withheld when you align with its vibration. As you navigate this time, watch for patterns. Pay attention to the numbers you see. 1111, 222. 555. These aren't coincidences, they are cosmic timestamps, soft nudges from the divine rhythm of life reminding you, you are not off track. You are exactly where you're meant to be. In numerology, these sequences carry frequencies of alignment, change, and breakthrough. They appear when something inside you is ready to bloom. You are, in many ways, like a traveler reaching the mountaintop after a long climb through fog. The view is finally becoming clear. The path that once seemed unsure now makes perfect sense. And all that's left to do is breathe it in, let the sun touch your face, and trust that everything you've carried, the weight, the questions, the longing, has brought you to the exact place where transformation begins. There's something beautifully subtle about how love begins to move when you least expect it. Libra, as your inner world begins to align with peace, clarity, and deeper trust, the realm of connection, both romantic and emotional, starts to reflect that back to you in quiet, undeniable ways. Love isn't always loud. In fact, during times of deep energetic balance like this, it often arrives in whispers. It shows up in lingering glances, the warmth of presence, or the comfort of being fully seen without having to explain yourself. That's because when your own frequency softens, it opens space for a love that meets you in truth rather than projection. For those of you in a relationship, this is a powerful window to deepen, not by doing more, but by becoming more present. Sometimes, the greatest act of healing within love is simply allowing yourself to speak what you've held in. It could be a truth that never found its way into words, a long-delayed apology, or a moment of stillness where you say nothing, but allow your energy to hold the other person completely. Right now, something sacred can be restored through the smallest acts: a long hug without distraction, a conversation with no agenda, a willingness to truly listen. These moments are keys. They unlock safety. And in relationships, safety is the soil in which intimacy grows. If you're currently single, this part is for you. What if the person who's meant to walk with you next is already within reach, just waiting for your energy to become recognizable to theirs? Sometimes, love arrives quietly. It doesn't always announce itself with chemistry or adrenaline. It may start in an elevator, a passing smile in a grocery store, a shared silence in a crowded room. But your heart will know. Because two frequencies that are meant to meet don't need noise to collide. They simply align. This is why I gently encourage you to try something powerful yet personal. Write yourself a love letter. Not to someone else. To you. Write about what you've survived, what you've carried, how you've kept going when no one saw the effort. That letter becomes a frequency, a beacon. It tells the universe you are ready to be met from a place of wholeness, not lack. And when that kind of energy goes out into the world, it calls back exactly what is meant for it. You may also begin noticing colors drawing you in more than usual. There's a reason for that. Energy moves through color, and during this cycle, 3 specific hues carry particular messages for you. Green represents healing. It helps restore the emotional body, especially in matters of the heart. Cream white brings cleansing, a soft light that purifies lingering patterns or beliefs no longer serving your relationships. And gold, luminous and bold, activates magnetism in both love and abundance. These aren't just aesthetic preferences. They're energetic allies. Consider wearing them, surrounding yourself with them, or meditating with their tones in mind. You are not being asked to chase love, Libra. You are being asked to prepare for it. And preparation doesn't mean performance. It means honesty. It means releasing fear of being too much or not enough. It means trusting that the right connection won't confuse you, silence you, or make you doubt your worth. And if you've ever wondered whether someone could love all of you, your depth, your beauty, your silence, your fire, the answer is yes. But first, you must love yourself in that same way. So breathe gently into this moment. Trust the pull you're feeling. And if something in you says, love is near, then it probably is. Write in the comments if you feel this. Say, I'm ready for aligned love. Because sometimes, acknowledging it is all it takes to open the door. Sometimes, transformation doesn't arrive through big declarations or radical moves. Sometimes, it begins in the smallest acts: the breath you take before the world wakes up, the choice to drink warm water instead of scrolling your phone, the moment you say no to something that used to drain you. Libra, the energy around you right now is already shifting. But to anchor this new light into your physical world, your daily rituals must become a part of your spiritual path. The outer world will only move as fast as your inner world allows. This is why conscious action, no matter how simple, becomes sacred in seasons of change. Your body is a mirror for your alignment. If stress has been sitting in your shoulders, your digestion, or your breath, it's not a flaw, it's feedback. Right now, one of the most powerful things you can do is to choose stillness over overstimulation. Begin your mornings with belly breathing, placing your hand gently over your abdomen, and inhaling until your hand rises, then exhaling until it falls. 3 to 5 cycles of this, done with intention, can send a signal to your entire nervous system: I am safe now. I am returning to myself. Pair this with warm herbal teas, especially chamomile, which energetically softens the body and promotes clarity of heart. You don't need to meditate for hours to feel centered. Just start with presence. When it comes to finances, the universe doesn't ask you to be rich. It asks you to be responsible with what you already hold. Energy love structurite flows where it feels respected. Track your expenses this week. Not from a place of restriction, but awareness. Create a small fund labeled Abundance Magnet and add even a small amount to it consistently. You are teaching your subconscious that your money has direction and purpose. Avoid emotional spending; it's a reaction to lack. Instead, spend with intention, with vision, with love. The more you treat money like a guest you honor, the more it stays. And more importantly, the more it multiplies. In your career, use this week to review the story you've been telling about your work. Is it still true? Is it still aligned with who you're becoming? Take 15 minutes to write out your current goals, not just what you want to earn, but how you want to feel as you create and serve. Are your current connections supporting that? Is your environment nurturing your next level? This is a time to open your heart to new pathways, not because the old ones were wrong, but because your evolution has earned you more. And if you're wondering how to begin calling in this new chapter, start with your energy. Place your hand over your heart and softly say, I am ready to receive what belongs to me. This simple phrase is not just a mantra, it's a doorway. The heart responds to declaration. It knows when you mean it. That's when transformation accelerates. On November 14th at 11:14 a.m., I invite you into a sacred practice. Sit somewhere quiet. Close your eyes. Breathe into your chest. Visualize a gentle stream of green light flowing down from above, covering your entire body. This is the light of healing, of peace, of soft power. Imagine it wrapping around you, like a promise. Let it flow into your palms, your back, your voice. Let it prepare you for the gate that's opening. Because Libra, that gate is not just in the stars, it's already forming inside you. Don't underestimate what happens when you honor your energy with real-world action. The universe responds not to perfection, but to presence. You don't need to control the outcome. You only need to show up day by day, breath by breath, as the version of yourself who is no longer resisting what they're meant to receive. Let that be enough. Let that be sacred. And trust, deeply, that you are already in motion. Libra, if you've made it here, to the final moments of this message, I want you to take a breath, slow, steady, intentional. Because what we've shared today wasn't just a horoscope, and it wasn't just a forecast. It was an invitation to return to yourself. To step through a gate that has quietly opened just for you. The truth is, you don't need to be perfect to be worthy of the abundance, the love, the clarity that's approaching. You only need to be honest. Honest with what you feel, honest with what you want, and willing to trust that your soul already knows the way forward. You've done the work. Now it's time to allow. I once met a woman who lit a candle every night for 7 years, whispering the same prayer with quiet faith. And on November 14th last year, she received a phone call from a child she hadn't spoken to in almost a decade. Was it a coincidence? No. It was the kind of miracle that happens when belief and timing finally meet. Her prayer didn't change the world overnight, but it kept her heart open long enough for life to move in ways only divine precision could orchestrate. Maybe your moment is just around the corner too. Maybe what you've been praying for, hoping for, quietly building your life toward is already on its way. So let me ask you something, Libra. What would shift in your life if you truly believed that everything you've asked for is already in motion? What would you do differently today? What decision would you stop postponing? What emotion would you stop burying? If November 14th is a turning point and in so many ways, it is, then how would you like to arrive at it? From fear? From doubt? Or from faith that doesn't always need proof to begin moving? You're not here to chase light. You are the light. But sometimes it takes a cosmic moment like this to remind you of your power. Before this window closes, I invite you to do something simple but sacred. Write down one wish. Not a vague hope. A true desire. Something your heart aches for in silence. Write it. Fold it. And believe with the kind of softness that feels like exhaling after years of holding your breath that it is on its way to you now. Not because you begged for it, but because you're finally ready to receive it. That's what this energy is really about. Receiving without guilt. Accepting without fear. Becoming available to joy without explaining why you deserve it. Have you been seeing repeating numbers lately? 111, 555, 222. Or maybe you've had a dream you couldn't shake, one that left you with a clarity you couldn't explain. These are not random signs. They're the language of timing. If something has stirred within you while listening today, I want to hear it. Share in the comments below. What message found you? What number keeps showing up? What feeling won't go away? This is how we begin to weave our stories into each other's healing. This is how we remember we're never truly walking alone. And before you go, I want to thank you. From the depth of my spirit, thank you for allowing me into your space today. Every like, every comment, every new subscription is a soul-level exchange. It tells the universe you're not just listening. You're participating in your own awakening. And that means more than you know. If today's message lit something inside you, share this light. Hit like. Subscribe to this channel. And send this video to someone you feel in your heart might need it too. Because maybe, just maybe, the miracle you help someone else receive is the very blessing you've been waiting for yourself. This has been your guide from Zodiac Whisper Tarot. And until next time, stay open, stay grounded, and stay ready. Because the next chapter has already begun.